I just want to say some of y'all are the weirdest people on earth. Y'all get in the comment section demanding and me explaining why I don't deal with someone, and then y'all asses get here on the internet and tell me this should have been taken off the internet. Are we so for real? Like, some of y'all are so toxic. People come on here, tell me I'm too chicken to really say why I don't deal with people. Demand me say why I don't mess with somebody. I tell you, and then y'all tell me to take it off the internet. Y'all are weird. If y'all didn't keep getting in my business, I would have left it alone. But because people feel like I'm obligated, you find out and then you're mad. Y'all don't think that's crazy? Girl, people are going to hate on me, and I know what it is. Listen, when I did that video yesterday telling y'all what it was, I was fully aware I was going to get a lot of hate. I was fully aware that I was going to lose a massive amount of subscribers. I was fully aware of that because what I do notice is that there are a lot of people that see me for entertainment only and they don't see me as a human being. And the fact that there are people getting in the comments saying, oh, it's stirring the pot, it's this, it's that. Y'all asked me a question, I told you why. What else do y'all want? It's just as simple, okay? And when you say, oh, it could be a misunderstanding, or that was years ago, or would you tell that to a rapist? Some of y'all are so insensitive because you have the privilege to be insensitive. I sit up here and advocate daily. But when it comes to me advocating to myself or for myself, it's a problem. Because you don't see me as human or valuable enough to advocate for myself. I should only be doing what you feel like I should be doing. Otherwise, I have no relevance or any importance to you. Call it what it is. Clock it. Be honest. These people are weird. Like, I see Diddy's folks is in here. Like, it should not be like that. Yo, the fact that someone could say things are a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding is, I don't know. You said I'm coming to your house and you meant tomorrow. That's a misunderstanding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you start saying, like, certain things you can't excuse, and the fact that people feel like I should excuse it and not call it out because of the simple fact that we're both anti-gypsy creators, doesn't that sound like a tall shirt man? Because you're saying advocate, but don't advocate for yourself. Just advocate for what I'm telling you to advocate for. No, I'm going to advocate for myself first. That only makes sense. It only makes sense. And it's nuts. Like, the level of it on this app and the amount of subscribers that showed me that they're okay with that has been truly disheartening. Like, truly. It's sad because the sad part is if the shoe was on the other foot and that was something that I was supporting, everybody would have a problem with it. And let's clock it. And I'm going to do it because at this point, I really just don't care. The reason why people believed Ivy Rose grows wild over me was because of the color of our skin. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it was. She seemed more trustworthy because she didn't look like me. Be honest. Own it. That's something you need to debunk within yourself. I knew that from the beginning. Just because I didn't say anything didn't mean I wasn't aware. It just meant I knew, I understood, I've dealt with it my entire life, and I knew what I was up against, and I was okay with that. Like, let's really be real. And I think a lot of people need to like stop overlooking that stuff. For somebody to say, oh, it was years ago, or okay, would you say that to a woman that was supporting a rapist? The fact that somebody could say, oh, well, she got on here and said she had to do it. And let's be real. I hate to do this, but I'm going to be 100 with y'all. This woman had already lied to you about her license. She has lied to you guys about multiple things, including her current husband's career path. And y'all could go look that up yourself. Okay. Somebody will straight up show you they're not credible, but y'all will fight tooth and nail for the lies because of the color of their skin, and that is disgusting. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not justifying something. I'm not arguing with people. I'm blocking. Like I said, if I had 0 subscribers on this page tomorrow, I would be fine with that. I'm not explaining, I'm not yelling, I'm not doing none of that. I'm just blocking you because you're no longer valuable to my page. If you feel like me speaking on my truth is me being dramatic. I appreciate that. Well, Diddy was yesterday and he's not out on bond. Ooh, child. I seen something late last night. Okay, I know this is distracting, but I need to say this really quick. Um, I'm gonna actually just show y'all because I think it's so funny. Tell me this is not hilarious. The verdict came down, and Diddy's baby mama beeline for the airport. She thought he was gonna get out on bond. If that don't tell you they messed up, I don't know what. The fact that your baby mama said, okay, I got a sick kid at home, I'm heading out. That tells you how much the system messed up. Like, that really tells you how messed up the system is. Your own baby mother beelined for the airport at the verdict. At the very thought that he could have gotten a bond, she beelined. Enough said. That should tell you everything. I'm not laughing at a victim. I am laughing at the fact that the courts were that goofy. But you assuming is another issue. You know, I'm not surprised. I'm going to tell you why. 8 of those jurors were men. The majority of the men on the jury pool were over 40. That was strategic. That was strategy. Because depending on your age range, when it comes to men, is depending on what you deem as consent. So they knew picking that age range of jurors that also were lovers of hip hop. They felt as though that would be the type of person that would find him not guilty, and they ended up right. I don't think that they should have been able to pick 8 men jurors. I think that that was very biased. I think that that was kind of a setup from the beginning. The judge didn't let him out, but Cassie Ventura also submitted a letter to the court stating that she felt as though Diddy was dangerous and letting him out would be, he would be a danger. And I feel like the fact that she beelined for the airport tells you that. The fact that the verdict came in and she said, oh, you know what? I got a sick kid at home. I got to leave. That tells you how bad it really is. Okay, again, I'm not explaining nothing to nobody. If you want to be committed to misunderstanding, that is your prerogative. You could misunderstand outside of the club. Okay, it's just as simple. Folks be trying to give you a headache. I just hope that, I don't know, they say people are speculating he'll get 12 to 18 months. He's already served a year, so maybe another two to 8 months. The prosecution is requesting 4+ years. I mean, the max on each charge is 10 years, and they could either, if they did give them give him the max, they could run it concurrent or not. I think it's really gonna just depend on the judge, to be honest with you. That's what I think it's gonna boil down to. Facts, Jerry. As soon as he gets out, people are gonna start getting pneumonia. It's gonna, and you know, the thing that people don't realize is letting him out only creates a bigger monster, because if I got away with it, why would I stop? If you've told me I could do what I want to do, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop? Exactly, Britt. Like, it really goes hand in hand. If anything, you would have thought he would have gotten charged with the sex trafficking and not the transportation. So the fact that he got the Mann Act, I don't know. And what's so weird is they were hung up on the RICO charge, but not on the other one. Does that not seem odd to y'all? Like something, I don't know. That seems very odd to me. That seems very odd. To me. 'Cause, like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I stop doing Oh, a way bigger monster. A way bigger monster. His daughters didn't look happy. I wonder why. Yeah, I mean, they will definitely get away with a lot, especially in like. But you know what was in New York? But I think, you know what was sad to see the amount of people dancing outside of the courtroom, and a lot of women were outside dancing outside the courthouse with baby oil. Like, who raised you? You would degrade yourself to that? Thank you, Steve. Could you imagine degrading yourself to that? Y'all, I ordered room service because I'm just going to relax tonight and I'll just deal with everything in the morning. But you're probably right, paid actors, but still, I would, you couldn't pay me enough to do that. Fat Brett. But I also think he knows that and can't speak on that because, well, then, if you could try to do it to both my parents, what makes me anything special? Hey, Mahogany. Let's be honest. What would make him? Angela, don't judge me. You are about to judge me so hard. So I didn't know what I wanted to eat. So I ordered like a bunch of stuff because it's all, it's all inclusive. So I ordered a bunch of stuff so Melania could pick what she wants, and then I could pick what I want. I don't even remember all of what I ordered. I do know I ordered burrito tacos, shrimp tacos, and ribs. And we haven't eaten anything all day except for some, like, oh, she had pancakes this morning for breakfast. Um, I had those Garrett's cheese popcorn inside the airport. We were supposed to get to the hotel around like 2 o'clock, but it just was a mess. My brain was scattered. Like, I was just like, just get me to the hotel. So I have to stay up so that I'm up when the food gets here. Man, ribs, listen, I will sell my soul for a slab of ribs. Crab legs, ribs, and lobster, I will sell my soul for it. Yep, I will. hmm I don't think a music career, I don't know if I see him successfully being able to garner the public again. Like, he would have to curate. It would be curated. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make you cook ribs this late. That is hilarious. Yeah, we're talking about Diddy. Man, lobster tail, crab legs, I'm telling you, like, what do you need? Do you need my arm? You need my shoe? You need my leg? Just tell me what you need. I will give it to you. No, really. Oh, yeah, for sure. Also, you guys, when you get a chance, you guys can go on Sam's YouTube page. She has the live from this morning or earlier today about Jen. And then she also posted a lot of the receipts on her TikTok page as well. Yeah, I don't see Diddy being able to garner the public again. I think the public trust is done. I think even the people that said not guilty, they know he's a monster. And let's be honest, would they let him around his sisters, their aunts, their moms? They wouldn't. Let's be honest. So I do think you're not really going to see the public do all that. Did y'all hear she was drunk last night? I saw a picture of her taking shots. I heard Kansas City had some really good ribs too. Could you believe that Gypsy is out drunk like that? Somebody said, oh, she's out here living her best life. If you're drinking 4 days in a row, you're not living your best life. You're living your best. That's not the best of anything. And do y'all remember Ken Euchre, whatever you want to call that man, had a DUI before. He also has been in rehab, allegedly. Do you think that this is smart? Lonnie, you can't be farting on live. Gross.
Wait, did you get that on live?
Yes.
What?
And it's on the internet forever.
Mom, that's so embarrassing.
I'm like, girl, it's like you literally hear it. I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
Why didn't you tell me? I would have went to the bathroom.
Hey. I think it's very interesting that she was drunk like that and knowing, like, we talk about toxic? Ken is toxic for her, and she is toxic for Ken. Like, really think about how toxic that is. That's like meeting a former crackhead, getting with them, and I'm not saying this as in I would get with a former crackhead.
Mom, can I get an orange juice?
Yeah, kind of, baby. But then turning around and saying, you know, I got a new cocaine habit. It's not the same. You could just have a little bit. We could just do it tonight. He is for sure. Like when people say that, they say that I say it to shame him. No, like what's wrong with you liking what you like? I mean, come on now. Like he's flaming. He's not even. Lonnie, did you take the chocolate? You get on my nerves.
You had the other thing. It had
Oh my
You got
gosh.
the other chocolate.
No, you had oh my goodness, she takes everything. Yeah, we took some really funny videos. There's a video that we took.
I want to see the back.
Have y'all ever seen that viral video? I'm gonna put the link in the description. I know, I seen it. I know.
Yeah, this is where me
I
and Emily.
no, it wasn't.
Yes, it is. That's the story.
No, it wasn't. It was on the other side.
I knew that.
She did one of those videos. You ever saw the viral video that says,
Yo, the account is called Lonnie and
okay,
Mommy.
girl. where she says,
Follow me so I can get as much followers as my mom. It's Lonnie and
"No,
Mom.
Lonnie, stop,
I think.
stop." So she, you know that the viral one when you say, I don't have kids, so I don't have to work hard. You you have kids. I'm good. I'm more than good. She did that video at the airport. And I put the caption, when my mom tells me to save my allowance, but I'm at the airport and duty free is calling my name. V, that's the question. Hey, Vicky, that is the question. Who has the baby?
The pool's still open.
I
I
know.
think they were talking about like 5 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Girl, I could barely stay up for this food to get here.
Just like for at least
Thank you,
30
Brooke.
minutes. 30 minutes.
Okay. When the food gets there, I'll take you for 30 minutes.
Thank you.
No, like Lonnie, get out the camera, girl.
We're on vacation.
Girl, they know.
Oh.
Lonnie be telling y'all all the business. But what if they was out here? What if these Lonnie would say too much if I didn't stop her. She would be like, "Yeah, this is where we're at. This is the address. Y'all come hang out with us."
I said we were on vacation.
Be like,
I never told them where we were. I'm gonna take that.
No, girl, no. It's like, girl, stranger danger. Thank you. She's so funny. But I don't know. I think it's. Oh, thank you. Where miracles fly. I appreciate you. I think that the concerning part is the fact that he already had a habit. Gypsy says that she allegedly. Angelina, that's what that's exactly what Lonnie's trying to do. Okay. um, I think and she said she had a habit too. So Ken having a DUI at some point, like think about all of that right now. That's not, it's actually kind of concerning. But I bet you the baby's with Raina because somebody said she was in Austin. I don't know because Baytown, I could see that where she was at. Well, why did somebody took a picture of her at the Buc-ee's and sent it to me? I didn't even know that random people knew me like that. But it was the craziest thing. I got the email. I didn't post the picture, and I didn't see that exact picture on the internet. I thought it was very interesting. But I think that the baby's probably with Raina. Yes, I could, and it honestly, I wouldn't feel bad for him. I'm not saying I want that to happen to him. I don't. But the thing is, I feel like you out here riding for Gypsy with no seatbelt on. Like, if you go in a car 100 miles per hour with no seatbelt on, something's bound to happen.
Hey guys, it's Gypsy.
Like, something is bound to happen. Yeah, I just hope nobody's harmed. That's just, and I'm saying you could risk your own life, but putting other people's lives in danger is the concern. I appreciate you guys so much. And that's gonna be the, you know what they remind me of? I don't know if y'all gonna remember this. Y'all might not remember this. Janelle and Kiefer from Teen Mom. Hey, boss. Could y'all see it? You know the one where Barbara was like, Kiefer, I know you're not going out to hang out with Kiefer. That's the vibes that they give me. Like that type of toxicity. Like, and remember when Kiefer got locked up, she was there trying to get him out. And when she got locked up, he was trying to get her out. That's what I feel like this is. Like, but they give, I feel like they remind me of like 17, 18-year-olds. Thank you, Vicky. I am, well, we just got here, but I'm super tired. I told her I would take her to a pool for a half hour after the room service got here. But I'm just going to sleep tonight. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, like when I tell you it reminds me of Janelle and Kiefer, like that's all I could think of when I think of them. Like Janelle was like a hot mess, with a young baby. Although I will say this, I feel like Janelle was trying to get it together, but at the time, I think she was trying. I don't know so much about now. Okay, I don't. I think she's made a lot of bad decisions, and I think each bad decision led to another bad decision. They kind of sent her in like like a dark hole that she's trying to like climb herself out of. But I think that originally she was really trying. I just think her and her mom had such a bad relationship, and I think it's just probably trauma from the both of their lives. I think that they had a very toxic relationship, and I think her mom really wanted the best but didn't really like know how to like execute it in a way that would be functional to where she would be able to digest it and get what she needed out of it. I think that there was like lines of disconnect and on both ends. And Janelle's no angel at all. And her mom was doing most of the work. She was the one raising Chase. Is that his name? Chase? Yeah. Her mom was the one doing all the work. So like I think she had the stress of that too. I think it was a lot in combination, and I think that it was just a struggle. And Janelle was always doing something outrageous. Like you know what? Janelle has to be the biggest crash out. Who else is the biggest crash out? Janelle has to be it. Okay, you know what? Don't judge me. But one of the craziest situations that I think ever happened on Teen Mom that I was so shocked about was when Leah, oh, Amber, you're right. When Leah got with Corey, they got married, she cheated, and they broke up. Like, I was still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that Leah could have cheated. Because I was like, not Leah. Like, I could not wrap my mind around that. Honestly, all of them, I think, are like a pretty much like, kind of chaotic. I feel like Caitlyn has done well for herself in the sense of being able to like support herself, take care of her kids and stuff like that. But I think she's, had her issues. But you know who, and y'all tell me what you think, and this is probably going to be very controversial. Caitlyn and Tyler. I think that the adoption agency exploited them. The show exploited them. They made decisions that they weren't really ready to make and didn't really understand the long-term effects of it. And they're now not okay with accepting the reality of a decision that they made when they didn't understand what was going on. And I feel like because the adoption agency was making money off of them, she didn't really care. That to me is actually a really sad situation. Mahogany, I agree. I don't even think it was just him. I feel like it was the adoption agency. I feel like she felt very trapped. Um, and really didn't know what to do. Yeah, it's a really sad situation. The show was a bad idea. And I think the only person that the show probably really benefited is Cheyenne, Chelsea, Caitlin, um, what's that other girl's name? Y'all knew who I'm talking. Yeah, Chelsea, Caitlin, Macy. I feel like somewhat, but I don't feel like Macy has done too much. Um, hey, Christy. Farrah, no, Farrah. I feel like Teen Mom turned Farrah into a whole problem. Like a, sh- no, I actually think Farrah. She's a crash out. She's a crash out. Like I actually feel like she's a mess. Like low key. Yeah, but I think because first of all, when that girl started calling her dad Michael while she was pregnant, I was like, my parents would have lost it. I couldn't believe it when she was like, "No, Michael, no." I was like, "What?" I knew there was problems then, but I think progressively it's just been worse, and that's concerning. And I feel like Gypsy is kind of like a teen mom. Even though she's not a teen, she's giving teen mom. Ooh, you think she's a closet alcoholic? I could see that. I could see that. I could see that. I appreciate you, Miracles. The plastic surgery does not look good, but I do see Gypsy being kind of like one of these teen moms. Oh, so I heard, I don't know if this is true, so take this with a grain of salt because I legitimately do not know if this is true. This is like secondhand or third hand information. Okay. I want to preface this by saying that. So if this is not accurate, at least you knew, but this kind of gives you an idea. Lonnie, relax. um, allegedly. No, girl. She is only doing a 90-minute special. Thank you for the memberships. I appreciate you. So let's see. So it doesn't look like she's going to have a whole season, but it does look like she is going to have like a 90-minute show, and allegedly the marriage is going to be on there. I don't know if it's true. Okay, Lucy, I'm going to answer. Lonnie, can you stop? I'm going to answer this, and I'm going to answer this one time and one time only. If you, as a woman, go on the stand, defend a white supremacist gang member in the police force, and lie under oath, and that man ends up with the death penalty when he was gunned down, And there's actually a lawsuit, if you actually go look it up, this is all out there, that was settled for $7 million with his name listed on there as well, under the Linwood Vikings. So yeah, no, that's not a, you don't get a pass for that, you know? You don't get a pass for that. Like, that's not, for me, that's not something I could give a pass for. Does that take away from the fact that she does great work? She has great content? No, she does. But does it take away from the fact that I feel like she lacks moral scruples and that she does whatever she feels like her viewers want, and she will manipulate things to fit her agenda like she has in the past? We've seen that. Like, you know, for her lying about her nurse's license, okay, yeah, that's a one-off. Maybe it was something that she felt, you know, embarrassed of, and, you know, it was a mistake that she made or something that she did that she, you know, has to live with, and she has, you know, operated differently in life. Yeah, that's something that I could overlook. But that's also something that you keep a mental note of, because it also gives you insight when other things pop up, that this is just not a one-off. This is a, oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let me see if I could look this. If I could, if that was just a one-off thing, okay. But the fact that, to me, like, there's a lot of red flags, and I feel like people overlook them just because she sounds good. And when people finally start really putting the puzzle pieces together themselves and it comes out again, and let's be honest, if it was anybody else that would have put that out and not Bree, it would have been received differently. Because I didn't even look into it, because at that time I was like, you're not gonna tell me something that I feel like Becca showed me something different. And that's why it actually bothered me. It bothered me for days when I first found out. Like, it really bothered me, because to think, okay, maybe I'll do this in a way that I feel that could be relatable to people. And I'm saying that because I understand not everybody, I can't expect someone to understand where I'm coming from when you don't have to walk a day in my shoes. I could expect you to empathize, but maybe not, like, totally understand. And it might be me being unfair, okay? But what I will say is, imagine you being a victim of sexual assault. And I'll say that in comparison to police brutality, because most Black people have faced some sort of police brutality. I personally have. I've had a gun held to my head after I called the police for help, and they didn't realize I was the person who called, and he was at the door with Melania in the back at 2 years old with a gun to my head. Okay, so most Black people have faced something, whether it's a family member, a aunt, a uncle, a cousin, they've faced something. Hold on 1 second. They faced something, right? So I'm comparing that to assault, okay, sexual assault. And I'm only comparing that because I think that is something that women on a whole could relate to, because someone has a friend or a cousin or aunt or someone they know that has faced that, and it's probably relatable, especially considering a lot of people have a lot of feelings about this Diddy trial. So I'm saying that in reference to that. So if I'm offending anybody, I apologize ahead of time. But hold on, I'm trying to get my charger. Y'all, I thought I lost my passports earlier because I was so tired. But okay, I found it. All right, so all right, my bad, y'all. And so imagine somebody saying to you, yeah, I know she went to court and supported that, but she didn't. But that was 30 years ago, you know? She's a different person. But that assault has affected that person for the rest of their life, right? Like, so how is it okay to keep saying that was 30 years ago? And I honestly think that that is one of the craziest statements I've heard. So it's not, it is so cold in here. Okay, hopefully I didn't make it super hot. Um, and that's just what it is. And like I said, I knew I was trying to really keep it off the internet, but when people kept saying, well, you know, just say it. Are you scared? It was never that I was scared. I don't like chaos. So me coming out, I knew it was going to be an issue. And I knew people were going to feel like they had to pick, and I didn't want that. But when people couldn't leave it alone, I knew I had to say something. Right. I think that because I'm going to be very honest, I didn't look into it. And if you really watch that video that I made after Bree came out, because I actually watched it back, I realized that I was out there riding for Becca with no seatbelt on. Okay? And you could clearly tell, like, I didn't look into it. Because the email, okay, it sent off all types of red flags to me. Especially when it came to the fact that she was basically saying, look, I know 100%, Mitch and I know 100% that she's guilty. How could you know 100%? Yes, Indigo, I actually do know of that. How could you say 100% when it was a hung jury? And you could clearly tell that it was a setup. They said that the very indictment was under unintentional lies. Right? So how could it be like that? Was alarming to me that she was that manipulative in the email. And again, she said, Mitch and I. Well, who the hell is Mitch? No shade. I'm just saying, I don't know who that is. So how are you? That sounded crazy to me. Like a dear friend, like a dear friend. Like the whole email was just screaming at me like, this is giving me all sorts of bad vibes. And I don't like when people try to coerce the way I think. And I could just see it all through the email. It was just so triggering to me. And it's triggering to me from someone that has dealt with a narcissist, has went through things. I know the signs. I have a father that's a narcissist. I married a man that was a narcissist. Not Gio's dad, but Lonnie's dad. And when you've been through things and you've sat on somebody's couch for intense therapy to forgive yourself for allowing that into your life, you see the signs fast, because you're not going to let anybody compromise your peace. You're not. You're not going to let anybody compromise your peace, your sense of self, none of that. You're not going to allow any of that. And I knew immediately when I saw that email. And that email was a very huge red flag to me. Very huge. And as soon as I saw that, I started wondering to myself, well, was there any truth? But then I was like, nah, it can't be. And then I said something else. I said, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to say who it is. If that person decides to tell you guys, I am not the only creator that she sent that to. Okay. So if another creator decides that they want to come out and tell you guys that, so be it to them. But I'm not the only creator. And that was just very alarming to me. And because it was that alarming, I just started to get curious. And I was like, well, let me see. Because if she's out here saying there's absolutely no way that Karen Reed could have been set up by the police, it's virtually impossible. You're saying you'll be Stevie Wonder for a situation. So maybe there was something to what was said. And one of my other content creator friends said to me, and this wasn't Ivory, just the FYI. She found out when I found out. Like, we were both sitting there like, what? When I actually looked, I felt stupid for getting on the internet and defending that. I felt dumb. I felt like I blame myself for not doing not looking into it. I should have at least glanced at it. Like I feel stupid for not at least looking into it. I feel I should have at least glanced. Yeah, I should have at least looked into it. There's a lot of things people change on. But if she would have changed, she would not have sent that email. And the fact that people don't see that, first of all, most people don't change. You have to really want to change to change. And most people don't want to change. Okay? Like, before you to tell me 100% she is not guilty and there's absolutely no way she could be set up by the police, that tells you a lot. Like, even that just tells you a lot. There's no way you could have sat there and watched that trial and felt like there was no guilt. I'm sorry, you can't convince me of that. You can't. Yes, we all see things differently. But that was even just the very fact that, what was it, Jen McCabe Googled how long does it take for somebody to die out in the cold? Stop. Just even that alone. Right, Vicky. I appreciate that. Just that alone. Jen McCabe said that. It was out there. Like, they brought experts in. They I can't fathom how you could still support that. And if you could still support that, you haven't changed from who you were. That is still there. And very few racists really change from being racist. Because even if you don't inherently want to be racist, it is very hard to debunk that, because it is something that's almost programmed into you, which is why it's so important to teach the babies to treat each other the same way. Because at the end of the day, whatever pre-biases you have, your kids will have. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, that's just the way things are. So I think it's really important for, you know, you to have those conversations. But things like that, you often don't change. That's normally core values of who you are. Yes, they have. Like, for example, when people say, I don't see color, are you Stevie Wonder? You see color. It's okay for you to see color. We can look different. It is okay for us to look different. There's nothing wrong with us looking different. You don't have to put your Stevie Wonder blinders on. You don't have to do that. That's okay. So to say you don't see it, that's kind of like, well, what do you see? Like, we're different, right? Um, and like that's why I say, like, it's really important to have those conversations, like, to really like debunk things, because at the end of the day, it just is what it is. And listen, if Becca came on here and was like, yeah, I'm a racist, and if you got a problem with it, that's your problem. Like, okay, girl, do you, boo? Own it. Like, I ain't mad at you. You own it, okay? Like, I don't I wouldn't even be mad at it. What's yours? Because you was at them Diddy parties, James, weren't you? How many times did you take that? I'm asking for a friend. Laura, don't dox her on here. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people try to cover it up, and that's the thing that becomes more annoying. It's like, just own who you are. Whatever it is, just own it. Like, don't try to justify it. Don't try to tell me what I want to hear. I don't ever want people to tell me what I want to hear. Just tell me your truth. You don't have to tell me what I want to hear. You telling me what I want to hear is unfair. I'm gonna, Kristen, I'm gonna delete the comment, just because I don't want anybody to um say that I did that intentionally. Miracles, but I'm, listen, whatever you are, own it. I can respect that. I can respect someone that is 100% about who they are. No matter what it is, I can respect it. I can. I can respect that if you're honest.
When is the future?
You know what, Edna, I'm like that too. When I'm done with you, like I legit would have had a funeral in my head for you yesterday, and we've moved on. You know what I'm saying? Like I am like that. But I used to not be like that, but I've learned to be like that because I've learned when you spin a block on things, you were right the first time. Why didn't you let yourself get it right the first time? You had to spin a block on it again just to say, well, let me just go back in the trash to make sure it really is trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's really what you're doing. You're like, okay, I know this is old gum, but it might be a little sweet still. Like, no, it's old. You done chewed the sugar out that damn gum. And I really feel like when you really look at it like that, like just picking stuff back up, that you, what Case did was not, I don't want y'all, no, I don't want anybody to unfollow anybody that you feel like I've impacted. Like whatever decision you make, I want you to make it based on you. What's between Case and I don't feel like needs to really, I don't, because I will say this. Contrary to Becca, Case and I were actually friends. Even though we aren't cool now, I still respect the friendship we had. And for those reasons, I don't think what he did to me was enough for me to get on here to rail on him. So I will respect the friendship that I once had and the trust that I once had for him. And I don't feel like what I'm saying is any reason for you guys to say, oh no, I don't want to, like, I don't think that should affect him. It was my personal decision that I personally felt like I had to make. Love, anyways, that was the big red flag to me. There were so many red flags to me. You know what it felt like? You ever have, you ever took, like, did an essay and you got it back from the teacher and it was like all marked up in red where you needed to fix it? That's all I saw was like red, red, red. Like alarm, 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 alarm. Like that's all I saw in there. Like just pure alarms. That's all I saw. It just, it was too alarming to me that I couldn't overlook it. Yes, Courtney, I agree. It was, Diddy's verdict is definitely appalling and deeply shameful. Yeah, it was just too alarming for me, and it wasn't something that I could overlook. It wasn't something I felt like I could do at all. It just wasn't something I felt like I could do. And again, Becca and I were never friends. And that's the difference between Case and I. Like, Case and I were actually friends. Okay, so that's why I say, like, I respect the friendship we had, and I wouldn't do anything to harm him that I don't feel like needs to be done. I don't think it warrants that. You know, boss lady, that's what shocked me. The fact that she actually thought I could be swayed into agreeing blew my mind. And the reason why I say that it blew my mind is because the people that have been following me, like really been my subscribers, like been near through like the beginning, they saw that I was going up against all of TikTok that was for Gypsy. Everybody on TikTok was for her, and I said, I'm not. Y'all don't think that this is weird? You don't think something is off? I was having thousands of hate comments. Trash. I'm actually, if he gets more than 2 years, I think he'll try to do that. If I was, if I did that, and then remember last year, this time, I also made it very clear I don't mess with Fancy either. A lot of people unsubscribed to me then too. And I knew that saying that people were going to unsubscribe because at the time people loved Fancy. And I knew Fancy had good information and I gave her her flowers for that. But her as a person, I can't align with. And I had said that doesn't take away from the fact that she did good content. I have went up against people that I knew that I didn't align with that tried to force the idea that I aligned with them. But I do it because when I don't stand for something, I don't stand for it, and I just say that. And whether nobody's gonna be here to stand with me, that's fine. I know that I stood on that. You know, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this without getting in trouble on this app. But I just feel like she needs to be in a straitjacket. I think it's a mental health issue on the grand scheme versus like something's off. Like something, I don't know, just something's off. Like I can't explain it to you, but something just doesn't seem, something doesn't seem right. I also don't, now, Morbin and I, like, even after his live, his, what we thought was his last life, and when he did finally go last live, I did text him personally each time and said to him, like, hey, whatever channel you start or anything that you're going to do, please, let me know. I want to support. I want, like, genuinely, Morbius is a really great person. And I could never, I don't have anything to say about Morbid bad at all. Like, I have nothing that I personally feel. I feel like people feel like sometimes, his jokes could be a little harsh, but I also think it's just his sense of humor. Um, and when it comes to humor, it's not for everybody. So I don't, you know, half his stuff I do find funny. To me, he's very comical. Um, but I don't have anything bad to say about Morbid. Ivory Rose Nose is another really solid creator. She is very, very solid. And when I say she's solid, like I have seen it over and over again. And you don't need to watch what people say. Like their actions will tell you um, where they are. And Ivy Rose nose is very solid. Now Ivy Rose grows wild. She's not, but we all know that already. We done seen her with the gypsy girl. Man, miracles. I felt very bamboozled when I found out. Like, no words would ever be able to express how bamboozled I felt. And I say that, and this was what I was meaning to say to you guys earlier, but I got distracted and I'm sorry. But just imagine that you've been friends with somebody, and I say that loosely, um, that you found out the whole time they've been supporting a pedophile. Wouldn't you feel bamboozled? It was that type of feeling, like where I was like, wow, wow, in shock. Like I was legit in shock. Like you you out here rubbing elbows with somebody that's like that really shocked me. Like it, but then I also was like, you know what? You kind of saw the signs there. You kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of there's things that were red flags to you. You just chose to overlook it. And I think Christy falsified a lot. I think Christy is way more involved than we even ever realized. And you know that that is very rich from me because I came on this app a couple of months ago and I hate to say that Ivory was right, but I said that I didn't think she knew that much. I was like, look, I don't know. I don't have any proof, but I don't think she knew that much. A year later, I mean, a couple of months later, after seeing a lot of stuff, I'm convinced that she did know way more than what I thought. I appreciate you, Jennifer. Who throws about other creators? I'm telling you, occasionally, classy. It was very sad to me. It was sad that I didn't. I now I and I will say this as a creator, um, that allows supports people on my platform. I should have looked into it. Okay, and I will take full responsibility for the fact that I should have looked into it when it was first put out there and made my own conclusion and not turned a blind eye because I didn't want to, I didn't think that it was true or anything like that. I should have looked into it regardless. So I will say that I should have did a better job on that before like promoting people on my pages. Like I absolutely will take account into that. You know what? The Madeline Soto case, I have never looked in. I don't know anything about it. Like absolutely nothing. Okay, I will actually look into it. Haha, Christy, you're funny. Morbid's voice is sexy. His humor. You know what I think is the funniest jokes that he has said to me is when he talks about his childhood. Or do you guys remember that buffalo that he showed? I will definitely look into it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to really deep dive into that now that you guys are saying that. I'm gonna have to really look into that. Yes, when he was talking about the buffalo, I was hysterically laughing. Like I literally fell off my chair laughing. Because like the way his humor is so dry about it, but the way he tells it is so sinister. It is so funny. Like so fun. Like Morbid is he cracks me up. Even him in the comments just trolling. It was I think it was like a great icebreaker inside the chat. And you know, I will say this. One thing I will say about I didn't know Morbid was coming. I didn't say to him yesterday that I was going live. You know, I wanted him to join or anything like that. I actually didn't tell anybody other than Ivory. Well, I didn't tell her the first time. We were actually on the phone the first time, and I saw a comment, and the comment just really sent me. And I was like, I'm gonna call you back. And she was like, I was telling you something, and I'm at the end of the sentence, and I look, you're on live. You're 3 minutes into a live. Like, she was like, I didn't hear you say you was gonna call me back. She was like, it said you're literally 3 minutes into a live. I've been talking for 3 minutes. Like, I was like, girl, I was like, so that comment sent me into a straight tizzy. And I was like, let me just set the record straight. Um, but more like just even him being in the comments showing support, I appreciate him for that. Christy and the Funky Punch. Not y'all calling them the Funky Bunch. Why don't we call them? Well, we could call Gypsy the Bayou Diddler, cause she out. She the Bayou Diddler, and let's call Gypsy Bree the Punisher. And you know, I was just thinking something, but I can't say it is not appropriate. It's out of control. Uh, the swamp thing. She definitely gives swamp. She definitely gives swamp. The Bayou Mafia Queen. That's so diabolic. First of all, okay, I have a question for y'all. Do y'all remember me talking to y'all the other night about the Tammy lady that invited me to her house and I was like, I could smell the rope? That's all I said, right? Do you know this lady got on folks' phone crying profusely saying that I said on the live that Christy and Rod was trying to set me up, and that's why I didn't trust her. I never said that Christy and Rod was trying to set me up. But thanks for letting me know that that's what they was trying to do, because you told on your damn self. Mighty Mulatto. This whole case is like so exhausting because it's draining. Defolk is crazy. This whole thing is like absurd. Dawn Brown, uh, isn't she dead? Hold on, the room service is here.
Dang, they knocked on the door so hard.
Hello? Yes, you can put everything on the table. I know you're like, this guy could be a fat person. I just didn't know what I wanted to eat. Yes, thank you.
Mom, you have to.
What?
Isn't it?
Yeah, you get away from there. Hold on, wait.
I'm moving this. Where did I put the weight? Do you remember where I put the cash? I think you gave it to the man.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, yeah. I know it seems like it's more because I was greedy, but thank you.
Gracias.
I told you, it's like you would have thought we were having a feast because I didn't know what I wanted, so I.
Course meal. What is wrong with you? Yeah, I get buffalo wings.
You can't have all of them. Can I have at least 2?
Fine. Mom, what is this?
Y'all, it's so crazy. I'm gonna get off here so I could eat. I'm gonna go to sleep after that. I will be back tomorrow evening or like in between
So before that, you're taking me to the pool.
For some short time. Mighty Mulatto, I don't think anyone's gonna want to have any association with him because they are not going to want to be known.
You saw the amount of food on that table.
Lonnie, why are you telling my business?
There's like a huge amount on the table.
But I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for coming. And thank you for the gifts, Miracle, Mighty Mulatto. I'm sorry, I can't see everybody. I'm trying to look. But thank you everyone for the gifts, the shares, the taps, everything. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.